Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So what is the need to know the jiva, and what is jiva? A superimposition on what? On the Paramatma. So why do we need to know the that which is, why do we need to know the picture which is superimposed on the canvas? Why do we need to know? That is the question here. And towards that, the verse goes, I think we read it, Sada vichara ye tasmad jagad jiva paratmanaha jiva bhava jagad bhava badhe swatmaiva shishyate. Therefore, one must always inquire and contemplate on the nature of Jiv Jagat and Ishvara or Paramatma. When the Jivahood and Jagat is negated through proper inquiry, one's own pure essential self is revealed. Why it is said only Jivahood and Jagat is negated? But it was the game, Jiv Jagat Ishwar is the game going on, isn't it? Then why only Jiv Jagat has to be negated? Kabhi socha? Did you think about it? If this creation that we are living in, if it is a play of that one with the one, and that play of one with the one is in the form of Jiv, Jagat and Ishwar, correct? This is what we say. Then why we have to negate the world? Why we have to, if it is the play of one with the one, then why we have to negate the world, negate the Jiva and not the Ishvara?
We'll know the Ishvara.
Huh?
Once we negate these two, we'll know the Ishvara.
Say that again.
Once we negate these two, we'll know the Ishvara.
Okay, we will know the Ishvara, or Ishvara will be revealed.
Yeah.
So when now I'll give you an example, and you tell me what is the conclusion. If the wave negates the world of waves, and the wave negates the individuality of itself, how does it negate? By looking within. What is that looking within? The wave, instead of looking outwards, is looking inwards, right? Will it see the ocean or will it see the water? You answered it. It will not see. Well, see you can say, but as the individuality dissolves, it will not become one with ocean. It will be one with water, because water was the substratum which went into making the ocean and the wave. Ocean and the wave both are superimpositions in that so to speak. Okay, but why do we take Ishvara? Why can't we do anything about it?
Because it's only one.
Why we can't do anything about Ishvara? Because he is beyond us. We cannot control him. He is controlling us. The wave cannot control the ocean. Ocean is controlling it. Ocean is expressing through it. Wave is not expressing through the ocean. Ocean is expressing through the wave, isn't it? Ocean is permeating all the waves. Wave is not permeating all the oceans. Ocean being the Ishvara. So wave has got no jurisdiction over Ishvara or God or Bhagwan. Therefore, our scriptures accept the Ishvara principle, the Lord principle. We cannot do anything about it, but it is a helpful tool, or it is helpful for us when it comes to discrimination, because this is our experience of the world. So we don't say God is not there. God is there. Ishvara is there as long as you are there. The day the individuality dissolves, then only Paramatma remains. Paramatma remains. We cannot use the language Ishvara vanishes. We cannot. It will be in religious terms it will be blasphemy. We can't say that. See, by saying that we are doing disservice to the rest of the humanity. It's you talk about your journey. Without the grace of the Ishvara, you cannot even come to yourself. So you went to look for Ishvara, but you find water. You understand what I am saying? You went to look for Ishvara, you went and did surrender to the Lord, but you realized the Paramatman. Provided in your mind no preconceived idea about Ishvara is there. That he is of this form or that form. That also is taken care of by certain meditations in Srimad Bhagavatam. See? So we cannot do anything about, because I did not create the Ishvara, isn't it? So I cannot do anything about it. He is total, I am individual. He is permeating, I am not permeating. So how can this teeny mini micro sort out the macro? So leave it alone. Ask for its grace. Invoke its grace. Then what can I do about the world? Did I create the world? The world was also there when I was born. So where is the place where I can work actually? Only on myself, only on the I, only on the individuality. And in that individuality, I reassess the world. I'm not removing the world. I'm only reassessing the status of the world and my identification with that world, with the changing. Only reassessing. In that reassessment, everything sorts out. Because data is there. We will show, as we go through, we'll see the data. Probably you have heard so many satsangs, so you have the data. So here it says, therefore, one must inquire and contemplate on the essential nature of the Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. The inquiry about the former two will help in discarding the Jivatma Bhav, and about the latter will help in discovering identity with the Supreme Self. So Jivatma Bhav is what? Identification, isn't it? So whom are you? When is the Jivatma Bhav established? When you are identifying with form, with name and form, with individual name and form which are continuously changing. Correct? And when you identify with different forms, your individuality keeps getting more and more crystallized. Then what is the sadhana that is given to us? Instead of identifying with the world, identify with the Lord. Then we start replacing the world with the name of the Lord and stories of the Lord or the bhavana of the Lord. And what happens in that process? Just like you have, just now we were hungry, Om Brahma Arpanam Brahmavi. The mantra says that Paramatma alone, Brahman alone is the eater, Brahman alone is the food, Brahman alone is the hand, Brahman alone is the mouth, Brahman alone is the digestion. Brahman alone is the energy that is come. So Brahman eating Brahman. Did you eat with that feeling? Did you eat with that bhav? Or you were busy, Prashila, the pulao was very good. Who made this the yogurt rice? That was very good. Because you didn't make it, so you have to be pleasing to others. But what did you chant before? Brahmarpanam Brahmavi. What did you say? Annadata Sukhi Bhava. Where was your attention? On Prashila, Bodh, Suruj, whoever brought the food. Who is the true Annadata? Paramatma. Did attention go to that one? Even for a moment? I'm just triggering you to think. Even while we were chanting Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, did our attention go to that Paramatma, or it was by default coming out of our mouth? This is living in awareness. All these mantras and everything is not there to just... chanting does not mean spirituality. Being attentive to the principle. If the word Brahman is used, immediately Brahman is the Aham Brahmasmi. Brahman is the all-pervading principle, the unchanging principle. It's a play between him and himself. See? The whole attitude within ourselves will change. Your whole disposition will change if we are available. And therefore here it says, so with regards to the Ishvara, we cannot do anything. With regards to the world, we cannot do anything because we did not bring it about. At this moment, after in other scriptures we have seen, the mind only projects. But right now I don't understand that. And when we replace the world with the Lord and become focused on Him single-pointedly, with urgency, with love, with surrender, and I have the form of the Lord and I want to be one with the Lord, but when I merge into the Lord, what will be my experience? If the wave merges into the ocean, because as long as it is feeling that she is the body, the wave will think there must be a total body. What is that? Ocean. I have to merge into he is my father, he is my mother, it is my everything. I have to merge into that ocean is my cause. I am only the effect. I have to merge back into him. But when it merges back, what does it realize? Does it realize the Ishvara, the ocean, or does it realize water, the Brahman? See. This is the position of Hanumanji. This is the position of all realized masters who are devotees of the Lord. Having realized, they continue taking the name of the Lord. That's okay. That's how they have programmed themselves. Because you cannot chant that which has got no form. You cannot chant which has got no qualities. You cannot chant that which has got no attributes. So the moment you give it name, quality, attributes, immediately is the Ishvara. So here, with that, from that angle you look, that when you are focused on the Lord or the Paramatma, automatically the entanglement in the Jagat automatically drops away. When you are entangled in the Lord or the Paramatma, the entanglement in the individuality also drops away automatically. But for that, we have to make the choice to remember, to contemplate, to meditate on that infinite. Whether it is the Lord or whether it is the Paramatma. That is told in this unseeming verse, just 2 lines, but the inquiry about the former too will help us in discarding the Jivatma Bhav, and about the latter will help in discovering the identity of with the Supreme Self. So now Swamiji has divided into two. Discarding the Jivatma Bhav, when we do Neti Neti, when we say consciously, initially, I meditate or I do the pranayam or I do the japa, it is you are doing in the waking plane. You are an individual, you are in this body, you are the mind. You start from this point. Even for half an hour you do, you will experience it. You start doing the japa, after some time you get lost in the japa so much that how you are sitting, in what position your leg is, everything becomes goes out of your mind. The form of the body goes out of your mind because you are so intoxicated by the mantra that you are chanting. It must have happened to most of you if you have practiced the japa sadhana. So what is happening? Body was Jagat. Jagat has been neutralized. How? By taking the name of the Lord. Or if you don't take off the name of the Lord, you start assessing. How? Logic. This is the table. I know this is a table. I am not the table. This is logic. Then naturally after this the question will be, then if I am not any of these objects, Jagat, then who am I? And I can't understand who am I, because the mind is still too active. So take the support of the Lord or contemplate on the Paramatma. So, and when we think of the Lord, merging into the Lord is equal to being the Paramatma. Just now we showed you water, wave, contemplating on the ocean, realizes the water, not realize the ocean. But if you have in your mind a preconceived idea that realizing the Lord is equal to Sarupya Mukti, Salokya Mukti, that I will go to the abode of the Lord, and you have some idea that it is called Vaikuntha, it is called Saket, it is called Kailash, then you will go there. I have already gone and come back. I am still the same. 10 times. I am trying to lose myself. It's not happening. Then Sarupya Mukti. If I go there, I will get the form of the Lord. Sarupya. That also is not happening. Sorry, that will happen if that is what you are focused upon. But if I merge into the Lord, like Srimad Bhagavatam tells you, when you begin with the stories of Krishna, and in the Uddhav Gita, it comes where the teacher, the student, the Uddhav is being guided by Krishna, and he says, give these meditations to Vidurji. And what is the meditation? 2 meditations he gave. One was with chanting, but eventually what? You begin with the form. He says, think of the lotus in your heart, keep contemplating on it. When you keep thinking of the lotus in your heart, after some time, when your mind has become quiet, the lotus in your heart will become, it is upside down, it will become straight. As you keep looking at it, it will open up. As you keep looking at it, the Narayana form will come out of it. Chaitanya form, not inert, not a statue. So you have to feel that his hair is blowing, his Angavastra is moving in the air. So the movement means Chaitanya. So he is there. And so now your attention, by the time you experience this in your meditation, your interest in the stories is okay. But it is only to come to this point. If this is not happening, story is a waste of time. So you have come to this point. And as you are focusing on the arms, the legs, the various things on his body, the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, etc., you feel that this is also too distracting. and then the Lord guides Uddhav. Now, to merge into the Lord, till you are here, it is Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Mukti. But you want to merge into what, if this question must come, if I am seeing the Lord, what is that material out of which the Lord is made? What is the life which is expressing through this form? What is the consciousness which is expressing through this form called the Lord? How can I become one with it? So what did you do to yourself? From your form, you went inside, isn't it? So now, objectively, I'm going and entering into the Lord. And that entry is called, either you focus on the third eye of the Lord, or you focus on the slightly parted lips of the Lord, or you focus on the 2 feet of the Lord. And when you keep thinking about the 2 eyes, the 2 lips, or the 2 feet, eventually you will get sucked into the third eye, you will get sucked into the through the in-breath of the Lord, or you will surrender to the feet of the Lord. When any of these 3 happen, you don't come to the Lord, you become one with the Paramatma. These are the instructions of Sri Krishna to Uddhav ji. Nobody teaches you this. भक्ति करो, भक्ति करो, भक्ति करो, भक्ति करो का मतलब क्या है? ये है भक्ति का मतलब. What we gave you an example. Wave surrendering to the ocean realizes the water. It doesn't realize the ocean. Because until you feel you are the body, you must focus on the ocean. Very rare few can understand the formless and the attributeless. We can appreciate it, but we don't know how to connect to it. How do we connect to it? Either through Lord or through Om. Om is also a syllable. Om is also having a form. Om is also beginning and end. But that is what the scripture says. So you do that. That will also take you the same place. So this is what is told here, that you go beyond the Jagat. That means you are now no longer under the influence of Jagat. The continuous identification Jagat has got melted away. Through Neti Neti or through your attention on the Lord. And when this clicks from inside, that now I must realize myself, I must be one with the infinite, then the identity with the Lord is the mainstay of your sadhana, rather than doing anything at the body breath level. Jiva bhava jagat bhava badhe swatma eva shishyate. There are 2 aspects involved while dealing with the situation of superimposition and substratum. We have to first of all ascertain the validity and reality about the perceptible illusion. Is the illusion true or is the illusion false? You know the blueness of the sky, is it true or false? But your eyes are seeing it. You talk about it. People write poetry about it. You color the Lord with the blue color. Correct or not? Is the rainbow true or false? Real or imaginary? Yet everyone puts those rainbow on their windows or on their car. So we have to first of all ascertain the validity and reality about the perceptible illusion. So is the wife real, true or false? पहले ट्रू बोला. False. Only woman is there. This rethinking of the data that you have, how you have been behaving, how you have been interacting, how you have been perceiving yourself to be, this has to be relearned when you come to satsang. and don't go back to the default settings. You have to keep updating. From childhood till a certain age, you kept updating. After that age, you kept living that only. Why not keep updating? You update the phone, you update the laptop, you update the clothes, everything is updating. You go to the gym and you update the body and make it fit. Why not the mind? Why not the concepts and ideas? Why we keep interacting with the Jiv Jagat Ishwar in the same way like we have been for last 20, 30, 40 years, isn't it? Some problem. If I'm learning music, I keep learning music. If I'm teaching, I keep teaching. Am I updating myself while I am teaching? Yes, it will be possible only if I'm consciously teaching. If I'm teaching with default, then same thing will be going on. I will get bored with my teaching. ये वही बोल रहा है यार, क्या? But when you are conscious of what is the topic, then words become secondary, and because those words are only triggers to shift my attention to the consciousness that I am, and that consciousness is bliss. So I'm enjoying. I'm in bliss while I'm contemplating. That's why we do satsangs, not to make you miserable. समझ रहे हो क्या बोल रहे हैं? तो यहाँ पे बोलते हैं, while the inquiry is carried out in proper and systematic manner, we come to discover that the perceived objects, Jiva and Jagat, in this case, were never existent apart from the substratum. So, Jiva and Jagat were never apart from the substratum. Whether you take that substratum to be the ocean equal to Ishvara, or you take that substratum to be the water, the Paramatma. That the individual wave, individuality, world, all the waves, that is its Jagat, all are already part and parcel of the divinity. Already part and parcel of, whether you want to take it as Ishvara or you want to take it as Paramatma, doesn't matter. It will take you to the same goal. The second aspect of the inquiry is about the nature of the substratum that will lead to firmness in the knowledge. So first part was that this world, this Jagat, that I find miserable, sometimes difficult to navigate through. Not only the physical world, when we say the world Jagat, it includes the gross, the subtle and the causal. Sometimes I find it difficult, sometimes I find the emotions difficult, sometimes I find the interactions difficult, sometimes I find the arguments difficult, sometimes I go to debate, go to discuss and turn it into an argument, or it gets turned into an argument. And then I blame the other person, never taking the responsibility. Because in this world, everyone is blaming everyone else. Look at Zelensky and Putin. And now they have found an umpire called Trump, who keeps changing every day. मजा आ रहा है देख के सब कुछ. Imagine if your Lord was like this. The umpire who's watching, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. If in a tennis match, the umpire who's sitting, fault, no fault, fault, no fault. Game will not go ahead, isn't it? There'll be chaos. That's what the world is feeling right now. But imagine your God, the divine principle, was of the similar nature. What will happen? प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. अरे कहाँ गया? हाँ. So first we have to understand that this Jagat, this world, first part, the inquiry, that the Jagat, the world of names and forms, and myself, this body, these thoughts, the thought which I say I, everything is already part and parcel of the Ishvara or the Paramatma. This is the first thing we have to understand. First part. And second part, what is that divinity? What is that infinity? What do you reach God or do you reach Paramatma? That, and what is the, because see, all the qualities, what do we call Paramatma? Satchidanand Swarup. What do we call God? Krishna, Rama, Satchidanand Swarup. What do we call Paramatma? Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup, Sarva Vyapi, Sarvajnatva, etc. etc. Same attributes are given to the Lord also. Any Lord, take Ganapate, Namo Ratapate, Namo Ganapate, Pramatapate, exactly. All quality, whatever words are used for Paramatma, they are used for the Lord also. Isn't it? So when you merge into the Lord, you are merging into the Paramatma. So all the entire Jagat and the individuality are already part and parcel of the Ishvara or the Paramatma. And once we have come to know, once we are on this journey, once now the Jagat, the world of differences, is not having an impact on our mind, now I got the stamina to remain on the Ram Nam, to remain continuously for half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever your capacity, on the Om or Krishna mantra. First develop that. And as you keep connecting with that Krishna mantra and Rama mantra or Om mantra for a longer and longer period of time, automatically in such a person, the urge will rise to know what is this Om in essence, who is Ram in essence, who is Krishna in essence, what is his nature. I have a concept of Krishna being the father of so many kids, friend of Arjuna, who was the charioteer of Arjuna. But who is he? But yes, I can shift from that, that Krishna was the gave the Vishwarup Darshan. Oh, so he is the Vishwarup Darshan. He is the one who is pervading the whole creation. That is the Virat Rup. Is he the Virat Rup? Does he have a form? But who is he in essence? The moment we get interested, even this automatically starts from within. And when it starts, automatically the right teacher comes into your life, the right texts come into your life, the right satsangs come into your life, and you want to study the Vedas. You want to study the Upanishad. You want to study such in-depth texts where your attention is remaining continuously on the supreme reality. It automatic, but first part has to be done. Because the truth is what? Realization means what? Dukkha nivritti, sukha prapti. So on one hand, you have to removal of all miseries, and on the other hand, realization of the infinite, unbroken happiness. Miseries have to be removed. First, you recognize that this is a misery. Otherwise, our miseries will be our wife, and I remove her. Then I get married again. A new misery. This is what is happening to us. I remove one hunger, next hunger is ready. I remove the seeing, the moment eyes open, again the seeing begins. So where is the end of this? So if I remain in the default setting, it's not going to happen unless I do not inquire properly. We have to reassess our data. See? And when we come to this, Then what are Upanishads talking about? What is Bhagavad Gita towards the end talking about? What is Pancadasi talking about? What is Vedanta Dindima talking about? They are only talking about the Paramatma. And they are only talking about you are the Paramatma. They are talking about even though the Paramatma is beyond all words. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Even though the Paramatma is beyond words, incomprehensible by mind, yet as long as you are a seeker, as long as you are not dissolved into that reality, till then we need words to interact with that infinite reality. And now we are not interested what I have to do in life in order to realize the truth. Now I want only to contemplate on the truth. I continuously want to be attentive of that truth. That disposition can be brought about only through Upanishads. Only through Amrutanubha, for example. These are texts where you don't have to do anything, just enjoy listening. And as you are going, you will vanish even while listening. See? So, second part, first was not coming under the impact of the Jagat and the I, because lesser the Jagat in your mind, the I becomes weaker, and then bringing your attention to the infinite reality and understanding what is the scope of that reality. And that's what we are doing. We are talking about the substratum, we are not talking about the picture. But to understand the substratum, we have to understand the picture. We have to understand the strokes, we have to understand the color, we have to understand the forms. And we have to come and understand how that picture came about. If there was no substratum called canvas, picture could not have come about. And then alone, step by step, or if it clicks, it clicks. I don't have to go step by step. I work my way back. Or I understand, Acha, this is how it is. Then I am not able to see the substratum, or substratum is all pervasive. That means behind every picture on the canvas alone is, without the canvas, picture cannot be made. Oh, really? Don't look at the picture. Now you are without the substratum, the pure consciousness, the variety in the mind cannot express itself. The picture in the mind cannot be painted, cannot be projected. Wow, I never thought that way. You take this one, you will vanish. This thought itself you take and sit with it. Where? Go to the Dinesh's house. There is a swing outside. Sit there and contemplate on this one. Beautiful breeze comes there. Gone. What is the meaning of Badaha, that is negation of Jiva Jagat and the world of duality? Badaha does not mean an obstacle. Obstacle here is incomplete knowledge. What is the incomplete knowledge? Our incomplete knowledge about the term Jiva and our incomplete knowledge about the word Jagat. Our misunderstanding about duality. This is the Badha. This is the incomplete understanding which is keeping us within the loop. We have to get out of it. So here the verse goes. Na pratiti stayor badaha, na pratiti stayor badaha, kintu mithyatva nishchayaha, mithyatva nishchayaha, no chet sushupti murchadau, no chet sushupti murchadau, Mocchetayatnato janaha. Mocchetayatnato janaha. Negation of Jiva and Jagat does not mean their disappearance from perception, but firm conviction that they are mere illusions, or else a person will get liberated without effort in a state of deep sleep, or when one has become unconscious. Negation of Jiva Jagat does not mean their disappearance from the perception. So, this top point I already mentioned in the first class, that going into coma is not equal to realization. Going into deep sleep is not equal to realization if you are going into deep sleep. But actually speaking, you are merging back into the original self, you don't know it. And the third example here is giving is going into unconscious is not equal to realization. Only you are conscious, you are unconscious. So what then when is realization possible? If it is not possible in coma, chitta vritti nirodh, it's not possible in deep sleep, chitta vritti nirodh, not in consciousness, chitta vritti nirodh, then when is it possible?
When you are conscious.
Now.
Yes, you have to be conscious. That means, can you self-realize in dream? No. In sleep? No. Only in the waking. So you have to be alert, vigilant, awake to the conscious principle that you are right now. Not in the past, not in the future, right now. So every moment is a moment of alertness. See, that is the price that we have to pay. Initially, when you begin like this, you will get exhausted, no doubt. You start doing japa, first fingers will get exhausted. After some time, you say, yeah, same thing again and again, nothing is happening. It will also start going to sleep. Exhaustion. You have to find a way. You have to find the love for the name of the Lord that you are taking. See? Someone just told me that urgency is there. How long am I going to keep tasting the name of the Lord every now and then? It's like a crow, or like our cockatoos. When we used to have plum trees in our backyard, 18-20 plum trees. Now all gone. But we used to go, अरे ये plum आ रहा है, कल मैं जाके इसको तोड़ूंगा, ये it's going to be ripe tomorrow. What tomorrow? Early in the morning, cockatoo has come, attack. He has put one, and it needed some more heat to puckify. But before that cockatoo has already put his beak into it, and this is khatta, go to the next one. This is what crow does. Puts his beak here, मुंह मारते रहते हैं सब जगह पे. मुंह मारना समझते हो? Where you are not required, you put your speak, give your opinion. So here he is tasting everything, but not eating anything completely. Urgency means एक बार कर डालो यार, बार बार कहाँ आएंगे? Again I have to get up, again I have to take shower, again I have to light lamp, again I have to take the mala. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. यार कल ही खत्म कर लेता, आज क्यों शुरू किया? I could have completed it yesterday. Why have I delayed my realization? Because I have to start all over again every day. In every sitting I have to start all over again. Why can't I just finish it once and for all? This thirst from inside has to come. And that requires alertness. Otherwise you will go into mechanical remembrance, mechanical chanting, and it will lead to sleep. And then you don't know where you were. But I felt peace. Everyone feels peace after sleeping. Or you can go into laya. Laya means enfolding of the mind. But body identification is not gone. Enfolding. So you have enfolded the mind. You have closed the. When you get a present, you open the wrap. That is unfolding. When you are preparing a present, you are enfolding it in the paper. So when we enfold the mind by some exercise, but body identification is not gone, then it leads to laya. It's an artificial sense of quietude. It's not conscious. For if you are conscious, then you are absolutely alert. To what? Not to the enfoldment of the mind. You are absolutely conscious of the conscious principle. And in the periphery somewhere, the mind has enfolded. Because your attention is not on the body, that I have to enfold my mind. Your attention is on the consciousness. So these are some pointers which can help you in your sadhana. Badatayoho apratithi na kintu mithyatva nishchayah. This is one of the most misunderstood points in Vedanta Shastra. One often imagines that when the illusion is negated, the appearance disappears. Disappearance of illusion. So I gave you the example, blueness of the sky, the rainbow or the mirage waters. Once you have known, after coming to Vedanta class, the waves are illusion, yes. When you go to ocean, will you not see waves? You will see still waves. But where is your attention? At that moment, suddenly looking at the waves, you smile. If you see someone smiling, understand, their attention is on the water. He will be playing in the waves, but his attention is on water. He is smiling. That's why you see all the Mahatmas smiling. God's also smiling. Why? The world is still there, but their attention is on the tattva, the essence. So, negation of illusion, negation of appearance, negation of the world and the aham bhav, jivatva bhav, is not equal to going away of jagat and jiva. It only means that the world is no longer able to influence you. The eyes will continue seeing, but now no longer what the eyes see influences you. The mind will continue thinking, but now the thinking no longer influences you. Waking dream and deep sleep will come and go, but the waking dream and deep sleep will no longer influence you because your attention is on the conscious principle. This is where majority of the people who are contemplating. But what about, just few days ago, I was having a conversation with someone. Oh, we have to survive. I said, you took sannyas for survival? Or you took sannyas for realization? Think. No, we need money for survival. I said, then you should have been a businessman. We find n number of reasons to establish the jagat. We find n number of reasons to establish the aham. And this aham is the one who wants to survive. And he can do it only by interacting with the jagat. Again and again. The more he has, the more he feels secure. But he doesn't know. The more he has, the more he is insecure. He doesn't realize that. Only if he goes back to the original, he is truly secure. But the data is inverted within our mind. Why? We are both. We are inert also, we are conscious also. And that permanence of consciousness we have superimposed on the Jagat. And thus we are living this Trishanku life. Neither here nor there. And this has to be sorted. This you cannot sort after death. You have to sort it now. In this life. In this satsang. Now. It cannot happen in the future. Had it been so, a realized person will become useless even to himself. What is meant by negation of Jiva and Jagat is a firm conviction about their illusory nature. Once this happens, it will never bother us. Do we ever bother about our reflection in a mirror, be it good or distorted? Once we know blueness of the sky is an illusion, sky is colorless, don't we continue to enjoy the blueness of the sky? As a kid, you did it or not, I did it. I ran after the mirage waters to catch the water, but could never catch the water. But my eyes are seeing it. See? You go and try to catch your wife. Will you catch her? Yes or no? You will only catch the woman. You will not catch wife. Think. But if your understanding is different, your catching will mean controlling the wife, dictating to the wife, doing all sorts of things. See? But our data says, which we have, that there are many things in our life which are illusory. We know they are illusory, and we still talk about them but are not affected by them. We are not attached to them. We don't identify with them. We don't want to possess them. We don't want to collect them. Correct? Then why anything else? Then why anything else? Only because we are not attentive of the conscious principle. The urgency has not come yet. If we don't accept the above meaning of negation and think that disappearance of Jagat is negation, then everyone will get liberated without any effort in deep sleep or unconscious state when duality is not perceived. So, what is negation? Negation means whether the world is there or not there. For our example is waking and dream is manifested world, and deep sleep is unmanifest world. When these three states are not disturbing us whatsoever, this point we have to come to. We must come to that point. If you come to that point, I was just telling Gaurav. One person came last week to me. Someone brought him. Swamiji, I said, don't tell me anything. You just bring him here. aa gaya. Haan, bolo. I am not able to sleep at night. I said, you are not able to, very good, don't sleep. You are going to work after next day? Yes, I go to work. How many days you have not been able to sleep? 5 days. And still you are going to work? Yes. So problem क्या है? Problem कोई है ही नहीं. You are able to function and you are not sleeping, so you can work at night also. No, I have to sleep. How can I function after 5 days? Human being need 8 hours sleep every night. I say, you have imagined that you need 8 hours sleep. I sleep 5 hours. Where is it? 8 hours. No, but yeah, then I went for a holiday with my friend, and there I slept out of 3 days. 2 days I only slept. Now I feel refreshed. Okay, that is how you are feeling. See? And who is he? Smart fellow. He is an IITian from IIT Delhi. But can't get along with his wife, can't get along with his child, can't get along with his own body, can't get along with his own mind. If he continues like that, already he went to the doctor gave him schizophrenia tablets. Half a tablet in the morning, half a tablet in the evening. Where is it going to lead him? And all the power to fix this is in your hands. A right orientation is required. Right orientation is required. Somewhere in our life, we were also going in that direction. And we got the right orientation by grace of God, came to the right teachers, came to the right texts. I couldn't study, not a teacher, but at least my grandfather was my first teacher, yes. But kept at it, made many mistakes, but kept at it, kept at it, kept at it, kept at it. We have to. Who else is going to do it for us? We have to make that choice. Not only disappearance of the world is not meant by the negation, but even the experience of duality is seen to continue even after self-realization. After self-realization, hunger will still trouble you. Interpersonal relationships will still trouble the mind. If the war is going on, it will trouble you. If a disease comes, you are going to complain and crib. You meaning the mind. Nothing is going to stop. Life is going to continue the way it was continuing before. For whom? For those who are watching. Then what about you? Others are watching that it is continuing. You are declutched, unclutched from all that is taking place. Your attention is on the infinite. Then now you don't have a desire to stop what is going on, neither you have a desire for it to change. You are just witnessing consciousness, watching. One part of your watching is on the other. Some people, they can be watching outside or they can be watching themselves. So if every witnessing outside is triggering you to come back to the conscious principle, that is the best way. That is the best way. Keep coming to that. Paramatma Vasheshopi, Paramatma Vasheshopi, Tat Satyatva Vinishchayaha, Tat Satyatva Vinishchayaha, Na Jagad Vismrutir no Chet, Na Jagad Vismritir no Chet, Jivan Muktir na Sambhavet, Jivan Muktir na Sambhavet. Same point is coming. This is when you are on the right track. Or I have not read the next verse. I have not studied before and come, but automatically the thoughts are going in that. Automatically the next step appears. Although after negation, Jeev and Jagat, only Supreme Self is revealed, and firm conviction about the reality of the Self is. So where is your firm conviction of the intellect? That self, pure consciousness alone is. Are you convinced that the world is? That the body is? that the relationships are, that the waking dream deep sleep is, then you have dug your own grave. But if you are convinced that the pure consciousness alone is, what is that conviction like? That conviction, pure conviction, complete total conviction is like you are convinced that you are a woman or a man right now. Think. Do you keep repeating, I am a woman, I am a woman? If you keep repeating, people say she has a doubt. Correct or not? You don't say, but you know. And when you know, you don't need to repeat it. Exactly the same way with the pure consciousness. Know that you are the pure consciousness. Knowing is conviction. Then your mind will not go towards that which is changing. It will remain with that which is permanent. These are the penultimate steps before merging. And that merging is happening, it's not that merging is happening once and then it's all over. Because world is still there. You are going to, the realized master still experiences the world, still goes through the hunger thirst, still goes through waking dream deep sleep, but with every stimuli that is coming towards him, that stimuli becomes a trigger for his consciousness to go, his I to go back to the consciousness that he is. Till it becomes permanent. Once it becomes permanent, then it is like a mirror. This does not mean that the world should be forgotten or not experienced. Otherwise, there will not be any possibility of liberation while living. When we negate the Jiva Jagat duality and lead to the substratum, the Supreme Self, we come to firm conviction about the Self to be the reality behind Jiva Jagat. This I have explained already. Na Jagat Vismriti na Chet, Jivan Muktir na Sambhavet. However, the world is neither forgotten nor lost from one's experience after self-realization. So don't have this idea that after self-realization, I don't have to work. Many people have this idea. That self-realization means everyone will come, touch my feet, give dakshina and go away. Or other people have a belief that self-realization means now I can have an ashram, wear these type of clothes and be good for nothing because everything will come. It will come. Don't doubt it. It comes. You can fool others, but you cannot fool yourself. You cannot fool yourself. The life will continue. As long as this body is there, life will continue. All the variety will keep coming. Whatever thoughts you have cultivated will keep coming up. Hunger thought will come, evacuation thought will come, sneeze will come, everything will, headache will come, disease will come, old age will come. Because you got realized this will not happen, forget it. Nothing like that. If we, what is that? However, the world is neither forgotten nor lost from one's experience after self-realization. If we don't accept this, one can never have the bliss of Jivan Mukta, so much glorified in our scriptures. Jivan Mukta is not posthumous. Jivan Mukta is while living in this world, not to be influenced, affected, enslaved, attached, desirous of this world. Why? When will this all adjectives come about? When I am merged into the consciousness as the consciousness. And the phenomena called the body is continuing. Till when? Till its natural going away. For whom? I have to answer all questions. For whom? Not for you, the one who is abiding in the consciousness as conscious. For others. Then what is the attitude of this person with regards to this body? He sees this body like I see your body. Just another body. He doesn't say this is my body. He may even use the word this body. I am hungry. He may use that language because that is how he has been programmed. That is the way the people world. If I say this body is hungry, please bring this body some food, and then the fellow is Vedanti. Swamiji, you are not the body, and the body is inert. It is temporary. It is finite. Body does not desire. Maar dega yaar zinda. What do you need food for? नहीं ऑप्शन देने पड़ते हैं ना. ऐसे सोचने लगे तो फिर इसकी तो वाट लग गई फिर. Then he has to go to London and India. Think, these thoughts must have come to your mind that maybe this is how it is. How long should one inquire and contemplate about the self? Now, if we are contemplating on the self, we are convinced about the self, we are not influenced by the world, we are not influenced by the inert matter, which includes this body, thoughts also. How long we should contemplate about the conscious principle? Paroksha cha paroksheti, paroksha cha paroksheti, vidya dvedha vicharaja. Tatra paroksha vidyaptau, tatra paroksha vidyaptau, vicharoyam samapyate, vicharoyam samapyate. Beautifully it is given. Huh? How long we have to think, how long we have to contemplate. How long do you think of sleep every night? I'm asking.
Until we fall asleep.
After falling asleep, do you think of sleep? You got the answer? How long you have to contemplate on the consciousness? Not till you realize, till you are the consciousness. And once the consciousness has sucked you in, or what sucked you in means suck the individuality, dissolve the individuality. That I thought has dissolved. Till then you have to do the inquiry. Till then you have to do the contemplation. The knowledge born out of inquiry and contemplation is of two kinds, indirect and direct. After the direct knowledge is gained, inquiry concludes. So first, how do you do indirect inquiry? I'm asking. How do you do indirect inquiry? What is going on right now is direct or indirect? How many direct? How many direct? How many indirect? Others confused. This is indirect knowledge. The knowledge is coming from someone to you. So it's indirect. It's not your own knowledge. What is direct knowledge? I am seeing. Each one. I am seeing. Is that direct knowledge or indirect knowledge? Direct knowledge. But at only the sensory level. I am thinking. Is direct knowledge or indirect knowledge?
Direct at the mind level.
Direct at the mind level, but indirect from consciousness level. Because someone is watching and able to assess, to say thinking is taking place, seeing is taking place, waking is taking place. So if I am watching and I know that I have a thought, I am the self. Is this indirect knowledge or direct knowledge? No, nothing sorry. Because it is a thought, therefore it is indirect knowledge. Direct knowledge is when I, the subject, I, the object, here I, the object is the self, Paramatma, God, Ishvara. I, who is seeking the Paramatma, now the difference between the I and the Paramatma is no longer there. How long the thought comes of I want to sleep? As long as you and the sleep are separate, isn't it? But when you and sleep merge into each other, the thought no longer appears in your mind. Exactly the same way. When I, the desirer of pure consciousness, instead of the world, now I am desiring pure consciousness. Divinity, Ishvara. When this desire, what is the desire? I is desiring the Paramatma. What will be the merging? When the distance between I and the Paramatma vanishes, then the desire also vanishes. If desire vanishes, the thought vanishes. If thought vanishes, only pure consciousness is. Got it? This is direct knowledge. Another way to put it, we have done a text in Kailash, aparoksha anubhuti. Aparoksha. Parokshata is indirect. Aparoksha, here that is the word, na? See, first is paroksha is indirect, aparoksha is direct. Aparoksha is direct knowledge. Can you see the eyes by the eyes? So no direct knowledge possible. No direct knowledge possible. So if I have to go to in front of the mirror and oh, I got eyes. Do I need to go in front of the mirror to know that I got eyes? I'm just at the eye level. Don't go into mind and thoughts and this and that. Just the eye. Even if my eyes are not able to illuminate the eyes, still I don't know the eyes are there, isn't it? But direct knowledge at the level of senses is this. But true direct knowledge is where the I dissolves into its own source. That is direct knowledge. When I, the desirer of food, was looking at the food, picking up the food, making the food travel from the plate to the mouth, indirect knowledge. It was on the tongue, indirect knowledge. But where I and the food become one, direct knowledge, because I, the desirer, and object, the food, the distance between them is over. Isn't it? I'm explaining all this direct, indirect. And this is happening every time, every moment this is happening, everywhere. Whenever a desire comes, and we are having some or the other desire all the time. After the direct knowledge is gained, the inquiry concludes. Once the sleep comes, the desire for sleep concludes. Once you merge into the Lord, the desire to merge into the Lord concludes. The inquiry about the self leads first to indirect knowledge, that is only as where it is only as an information, conviction, and you start collecting the data. You read books, you go to satsangs, you want to be initiated by this fellow, that fellow, this fellow. Why? I want to know the self, I want to know it quickly. The more the blessings I get, the quicker I will realize. See, I was a culprit of that. I wanted to realize. So I asked one Mahatma who came to Melbourne many years ago, before ashram. He said, speak to my Panditji. I went to the Panditji. He says, $21,000 US. मैंने कहा यार इतनी तो मेरी सैलरी भी नहीं है. And you have to come to America. Indian but living in America. You have to come to America. And you have to stay there. Accommodation, expense, everything is separate. Thank you. Nice to know you. The next step is the direct knowledge, when the information is converted into direct personal experience. Indirect knowledge was the food, desire for the food. Direct knowledge is becoming one with food. The distance between you and the food is null and void. And this is what brings us about to my soulmate. Soulmate चाहिए.
Alert from no backups for 1,425 days.
Tadhastu. My soulmate. Huh? And they want soulmate, but no sacrifice, no love, continuous comparison, continuous competition. And you want to have a, if by mistake the wife goes and sits on his asan, ho gaya, Mahabharat shuru. Where soulmate? This is not. The only way you can work out a soulmate is if you, and for that you don't have to change husbands and change wives. Only if your attention is on the Paramatma and you see that both these equipments, both these minds, both the consciousnesses that are expressing are expression of the one, then alone we will surrender to the other, be empathetic towards the other. See? But that by looking at that form, this thought will never come to you. Only by being the pure consciousness, automatically that one alone is expressing as the two. Just like that one pure consciousness is expressing subject-object, that one reality alone is expressing as man and woman, husband and wife. And when your attention is on the pure consciousness is of the nature of unconditional love. You don't have to practice love then. It is natural. And love expresses as seva. Then that love, which is natural, because your attention is on the divine, then what is that seva? Let me do seva of her. Let me do seva of whoever comes in front of me. Not only of my wife or husband. Yes, I have to live with them a little bit extra, but anyone who comes, I will do seva. Then you see the fulfillment, because you are not desiring to do seva. It is a natural expression out of you, because your attention, your conviction is that you are the pure consciousness, and pure consciousness is of the nature of pure love, unconditional love. And that unconditional love expresses as pure seva. Because there is no ego, there is no doer of seva. But seva is happening. Dekho maja. When you think in this manner as the scriptures are guiding us, then it is fulfilling. Tatra aparoksha vidyaptau ayam vicharaha kya tha? Samapyate. when one has come to experience the reality of one's own being, the aparoksha jnanam has taken place. Aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge has taken place. When we have come to experience the reality. Now it's no longer a conviction. It's no longer an idea. It's no longer a word from the scriptures. Till now it is a word from the scriptures. Scriptures say you are the self. Acha, I am the self. Which self? Then we give you data. You are the Gaunatma, you are the Mithyatma, you are the Mukhyatma. Acha, which is the good one? Mukhyatma is I am the Mukhyatma. But Swamiji, the wife is troubling me. Then you are Gaunatma. But you said you are the Mukhyatma. I said essentially you are Mukhyatma. The day when you are undisturbed by the Gaunatma, or the day you are undisturbed by your wife, the Gaunatma called the husband is no longer disturbed, because that Gaunatma, the virtual role that you are playing, it's dissolved. And then you come to Mukhyatma. Oh. Then they misunderstand that. And they go and divorce. I got rid of my wife. Now she doesn't disturb me. And after 3-4 months, new wife. Or continuously thinking of the wife. Itne drama hote in this world. Here ends all the enquiry or contemplation, because the jiva, the seeker who was inquiring, has discovered his substratum. Actually, there is no discovery. You don't discover sleep, you merge. Similarly, you don't discover the self. The self reveals and it takes over everything. In that taking over of everything, just like when I am looking and driving and suddenly the car is facing in the west, and the sun is setting, and suddenly the light of the setting sun takes over and you become blind. You can't see anything. Have you experienced that? That is immaterial. You have to face the danger. The point is, when the light overpowers your vision, you can't see the road, you can't see the people, you can't see the traffic, you can't see the traffic lights, you can't see anything, because you get chaka chaunt ko kya bolte hain? You get blinded by that overpowering light. Exactly the same thing happens here. The pure consciousness, when it reveals, it just doesn't reveal. Acha, main aa gaya. That light, it is so powerful. It is the most powerful, and it pervades it blinds the entire mind. In other words, it divinizes the entire mind. Because mind is also consciousness. Now you cannot see the world the way you used to see before. Dekho maja. To this point we have to come. We have to expose our mind for this to happen. What we are talking about? Direct knowledge. When this direct knowledge happens, there is a complete overpowering of the mind because the mind is only an idea. Pure consciousness by nature is all pervasive, infinite, all knowing, ever existing, all blissful. And if it is everywhere, the first place that comes, I'm just talking, why? Because we are thinking from the mind point of view. We have not merged yet. So while we are thinking from the mind, what will happen to the mind? So then I have to explain that example of blinding light. So that light of consciousness then blinds the mind. Then every thought becomes divinized. Every desire becomes divinized. Every waking dream and deep sleep gets divinized. I'm talking from mind point of view, not from conscious. From consciousness point of view, it was always the same. So why do we feel the difference of when we are with ourselves and when we are with Mahatmas? Because that Mahatma has come to that point where he has had direct experience and now he is abiding in that experience as that experience. And when you go to him, there is no ego, there is no individuality, he is just a mirror. And when you go in such a person's presence where there is no judgment, there is no division, there is no me versus you, there is no I like you and I don't like you, you feel accepted. You feel, because in their presence, the light is the self-realized, the light of consciousness is so bright, is so vibrant, that sitting in their presence or coming in their presence or even having a look at them affects you. And you become calm, quiet, collected, in tune. You start resonating at their frequency for those few moments till you wear your chappals again. Huh? So this is the reason. This is what happens when the direct experience takes place. Aparoksha anubhuti. The nature of paroksha and aparoksha jnanam is, now having explained this, now they will dive into what is the nature of paroksha and aparoksha. In general, I have explained just now, but let's see what they say. Asti brahmeti ched veda, asti brahmeti ched veda, paroksha jnanameva tata, paroksha jnanameva tata, aham brahmeti ched veda, aham brahmeti ched veda, साक्षात्कार स उच्यते, साक्षात्कार स उच्यते. We'll look at this in our next class. 1.5 hours gone already. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.